Hello, dear friends. I am Noemi Paimal from Pedagogy 3000 or Education 3000. And today we are going to see a very important subject. We are going to talk about the emotional intelligence. And it's so important. Remember that the writer Daniel Goleman had a book called Emotional Intelligence, and he said the emotional coefficient is more important than the intellectual coefficient or the IQ, intellectual quotient. It's more important the emotional quotient. That means so important. It should be part of the curricula. It should be part of the learning process, not only with the children and the young people, and very young as well, from kinder and pre-kinder garden, but as well with the adult. I mean, with the parents and the teachers. And we are not talking about to repress or to just ignore our feelings. On the contrary, but how to know how to process them and to balance them without hurting anybody, without hurting the other person or oneself. For instance, if I'm very mad, if I explode, and I shout to somebody of the family, usually it's with somebody you love, the family or your student. This is not the correct way. We hurt everybody and we hurt ourselves. So the goal of this video is how to manage that without hurting anybody and to really focus on emotional intelligence in the learning process. Let's begin. Emotional intelligence. The definition, it refers to the human capacity to feel, understand, control, but not suppress or not put down, not ignore, and modify emotional states in oneself and in others. As I said, emotional intelligence, it's not about drowning emotion, but directing them and balancing them harmoniously, with harmony. It's from cocrea.com.r, and I really like this definition. And then they say emotional intelligence began because it's a long time ago, it's 1 century, with the concept of social intelligence, and it was the work of the psychologist Edward Thorndike. And he said it's the ability to understand and women and children, understand them and act wisely in our human relationship. And now it's so important. I really emphasize it should be part of the curricula. Actually, in the 7-petal scheme layout, we put a petal for that, and it's called the pink petal, the 3rd petal, taking care of all the emotional intelligence issues, along with the peace culture, multiculturalism, self-esteem, and so on. The book, remember, we talked about Daniel Goleman. The book is called Emotional Intelligence, Why It Can Matter More Than the IQ. And remember, emotional quotient is more important than intellectual quotient. In all levels and with all the issues, it's extremely important. In the book, I recommend you to see the appendices B, and then you can see the description of today's children, because they really use a lot their emotional intelligence, and it has to be balanced and attended. And we have to address this issue all the time in the education process or learning process. The other book I really recommend is called No Violent Communication by Marshall Rosenberg, and it deals with how to communicate with empathy and with listening and with peace. It's very good, and you can do it with any kind of ages. I mean, from very little, 3 years old, up to elders, I mean the whole family. Where is the emotional intelligence? Technically talking, it's part of the emotional brain. It's a brain in the middle brain, limbic system. So we have first the neocortex above, the thinking and the execution. Under we have, it's called as well the mammifers from the mammals, emotional brain or limbic brain. And below, it's right behind and below the reptilian brain or survival brain. It's take care of anything with survival. Actually, the emotional brain here in the middle is linked with the complex heart and thymus, and somehow with the right brain as well, and with the mirror cells. It's all complex. See, here we can see the brain connected with the heart, and it's connected by the sympathetic and parasympathetic system, and it's all connected, and it's extremely important to consider the heart system in education, because from the heart, it's where we generate, and this is proved scientifically by Heart Math Institute, California, USA. With the heart, we generate a beautiful electromagnetic field, and this field is what allows a human being to be stable, to be healthy, to be wise, to have the capacity to handle any kind of situation. This electromagnetic field is extremely important, and it's linked to emotional intelligence, and it's linked to the heart and thymus system. Tools, how to develop, how to take care of the emotional intelligence. We have a bunch of sets of activities. One set is activities to recognize our own emotion, then activities to be able to process our emotion correctly, and activities to reinforce interpersonal relationship, social relationship with each other. And one reflection here, we have to be very aware of one thing. What if the reaction of a child as well reflect maybe the mood and the emotion of the adult who is with him or with her? Let's say if you have a very bad day and you are very stressed and in a bad mood, probably as a mirror effect, your child this day will be in a bad mood and very cranky and maybe upset all the time. So there is a relationship. Those kids, this is called the sponge kid, they are very sensitive and they capture the emotion of the adult around and what's going on around them. So it's very important to consider emotional intelligence for the adult as well. That means for you, for me, for the parent, for the teacher. We are all involved because we are one species. We have one electromagnetic and it's called biomorphic field that linked us together in this huge network as a species and as a family as well. Here is a couple of ideas of activities to recognize our own emotion. For instance, you see under we can see the emotion, all those little drawings, icons. So it's nice to recognize, because if not, you will say, oh, I feel good, I feel bad, and that's all. No, there is 100, 200 adjectives to recognize our emotion. Then when you recognize them, it's like 50% of the situation is dealt with. I mean, you know what's happening. Let's say, I recognize I'm just tired. So it's easy, I'm cranky because I'm tired. So if I'm tired, I take a little nap and I can take the right decision to handle that, you know? So it's a very good idea to have maybe cards or activities and little drawings and the games when you recognize the emotion, theater as well, guess what I am or what I feel, things like that. You can write your emotions as well if the kids are bigger, draw them, talk about them. You can write your biography for bigger students or for the adults as well, so you can process the emotion and what's happening to you. There is a nice exercise called how do I feel? So you can ask the children, how do you feel? Or the person or the student. And they can say it or they can draw it. If you have a large group of persons, it takes a long time. So it's better to do groups per two, you pair up, and then they talk to each other. I feel like this, I feel like that. The other person listens, and then they switch, and the other person talks about their feelings and recognizing their feelings. And at the end, we do an harmonization exercise to balance the energy and to feel good here. So it can be any kind of exercise while you breathe, or you do a little relaxing exercise of harmonization or sound as well. Oh, that's very nice, especially with little kids, to be able to locate our emotion in your body. Oh, you feel hungry, angry. Where is it in your body? Oh, it's here in my stomach. It's here in my heart. No, it's here. Sometimes they show everywhere in the body. And that's very nice because then they can realize through the touch and the body. Art and music, of course, is part of emotional intelligence activities. To be able to process our emotion, remember, correctly without hurting anybody. We can consider anything with arts and dance, as I said, music. Work with colors is called chromotherapy. You can work with all the colors. It really helps the colors. Or you can do only one color. Choose one color and you draw with one color. It's called monochromotherapy. Let's say if I have only red, it's very good to process anger. If I have many ideas and I don't know how to process them, yellow. For instance, any creative way of releasing safety, the emotion to art are very good. Biodance is from an educator from Chile. His name is Rolando Toro. He's very good. All martial arts and all kind of yoga. Yoga for kids, acro yoga, duplex yoga, yoga in the air with, I think it's called area. I mean, it's, you do it backwards with 2 pieces of clothes, basically. Energy alignment, what's that called, harmonization. And you can do it in form of games of others, like the game of having a shower of nice, sweet, colorful shower, or petals of rose, or you can be a tree and you have roots and somebody helps you and with the wind and you are the branch, and it helps really. And positive affirmation. This is very important. We can put on the wall or in the bedroom positive stuff like I am good, I am peace, I am light, I have a good memory, I am good at math, whatever. But always positive and think positive as well. Yeah, this kid can do it. We can do it. Never say, for instance, oh, you are so crazy or you are so bad. Crazy is very bad. This is not a positive affirmation, but let's say I knew a person, it was a grandmother, and the grandkid was like very wild. So she used to say, oh, you are crazy, you are crazy. She was saying it with love. I mean, it was fun for her. But what happened? The kid, she believed that. And then she started to say at school, oh, I am crazy, so I'm going to draw like crazy, and I'm going to put crazy thing. And then the self-esteem is going down. So be very careful. It has to be positive. It's called Pygmalion effect. Pygmalion effect. And it's so important that I will do a special video on this subject. Always theater, self-esteem, story where the hero knows how to manage his or her emotion and ideas. That's so important. And for you people, young people, novels and movies with the same purpose. With the hero with a lot of ethic and knowing how to handle that. Not the hero when everybody is dying and the wolf is eating you up and you freeze in the forest. No. Good stories and good movies. Conscious breathing exercise, of course. Any kind of breathing can be like I breathe on a little feather, or I cool down the soup, you know. It's like when the soup is too hot, you breathe on it. So you are conscious of your breathing. Or it can be breathe with your stomach, with a little teddy bear on it, and you like swing the teddy bear. So you learn how to breathe with your abdomen, which is very good. Eye movement, juggling, contact with nature, massage or self-massage, massage, self, because sometimes we can't touch the children at home, or especially at school, I mean. And laughter, like laughter therapy, that's wonderful. Now to deal with relationship, that's the social or the interpersonal intelligence. There is several ideas. We have several ideas. Organized cycle of emotion, where the children or the young people, they can express themselves freely. So in a cycle of emotion, the adults, they don't talk. The children are free to talk. They just make sure they all talk. There is some system like having a stick of talking or something. But then they know, they are used to it after that. And they can freely express, no judging, no interrupting, no comments, just between themselves, they can express in a safe environment. Nobody can giggle or can make fun of you. It's a safe environment. And you are in charge of making it very safe, very, very secure for them. To do team activities regularly, this is team building. So a lot of activities in team from very little age, so they know how to cope in a team, how to work together, how to help each other, how to give, and oh yes, you can have the scissors, you can have this, can I help you? And this will help them a lot with life, or when they have a project, and when they have to do something with the team. And it's good for cooperative attitude, to have a cooperative attitude. Friendly greeting and farewell, individual and collective. We always, even in the house, there is always a little circle in the beginning when we greet each other and we decide what to do. And at the end, before you go to sleep, in a classroom, the same. We can greet everybody one by one, then collectively, and the same when they go back, we can say bye-bye in different ways, according to what they like. But it's very important, and we look at the eyes. And egg therapy, very nice. We can learn diplomacy, courtesy, optimism. Sometimes there is a theater, it's called the theater of the courtesy. The theater is very simple. It's a little theater with two persons when we do things all wrong, like two kids can play the roles, like I push somebody or I do a little bullying. And then we ask, how do you feel? After it's a very small, it's like 10 seconds theater. Oh, I felt bad, I felt this and that. And then they do a second theater when they do everything correct. Please, can I go? Can I help you? And then we ask, how do you feel with this? And they always say, oh, I feel good, I helped. And then the other kids, they observe and they know. We don't have to do a big speech after that. They just observe and they know that the culture here is peace culture, and we act this way. It's fun and it's easy, and it avoids all kind of speech and moral and long ethic classes that usually they don't even listen to. Strengthen the culture of peace, make peace visible. So this, I will do a video on peace culture. It's extremely important at home and in the schools. And we have a program, it's called Peace Ambassador, or the School's Embassy of Peace. And of course, foster all the time the non-violent communication. And we see, starting with ourselves, the adult. I will do another video as well on NBC, it's so important. And we can have a lovely, beautiful environment for ourselves, for the family, for the classroom, for the society. Very good. A couple of more tools, a couple of more activities. One is called the discharge. It's space of discharging of tension, anger, stress through movements and release of the voice. So we can have a rapid music or cardio music, and we dance and move, like releasing all the bad emotions. And the voice, so we can shout or do some exercise with the voice very loud. So we release all that without hurting anybody. You see? We can do the circle of peace. That we'll talk about it in the NBC video. The circle of peace is different from the circle of listening or emotion circle. It's about dealing with an issue. For instance, somebody is doing some bullying, what are we going to do? So we start a circle of peace. Relaxation in the form of posture, muscle tension, distension, exercise, massage, self-massage, including parents and teachers, of course, and have a harmonious background music with the frequency 432 Hertz, 432 Hertz that we can download from internet. Please replace the school bell, when it's very, with this noise like, and it's also awful, with nice music, and have a peace corner, a place when it's quiet and you can relax or rest or have a quiet moment. It's called a peace corner. It can be in the house or in the classroom. Finally, the empathy exercise. Empathy is very important. Many kids nowadays, according to our statistics, are empath kids and psychic kids sometimes, or intuitive kids. But empathy is important. We are talking about the ability to perceive and understand feelings and other person's thought as well, and emotion. So it involves we know how the other person feels, like we are in his or her shoes, as we say, and to understand the point of view. More the new society will go towards more empathy, more solidarity, more peace culture, and this is extremely important that we deal with those issues during the learning process for everybody, for the small ones, kids, young person, adults. That is parents, teachers, all of us, me, you, yeah, definitely. And you see, we will get to such an harmonious environment. It's beautiful, and it's up to us. I love this quote: if you love your child, you already educate him or her. Dr. Shishida. I repeat, if you love your child, you already educate him or her. So we all go back to the most important things in this universe, unconditional love. Thank you to be together. Thank you for doing our best with the emotional intelligence at home or in the classroom, and especially with ourselves. It's very important. It's up to us, and that's our priority, to be wise with our emotions, to be in peace inside, to look forward to this harmony and peace culture everywhere, because that will build up peace culture and harmony for the future society, and we do need it. Thank you so much. Take care, and I see you